Hey, it's Nikki.
And it's free.
And we're Late to the Party. And today we are discussing Booksmart, a film about two best friends who are late to the party.
They are late to the party.
Literally late to the party. And they're kind of late bloomers.
Yeah.
So
true.
Metaphorically, they're also late to the party.
Yeah. Metaphorically and literally.
Yes. They kind of stole our shtick.
They did. I was going to say, have you ever been late to a party?
Yeah, fashionably late. Oh, well, very, very late too. I'm a not very punctual person. I'm trying to work on it.
I'm the same.
I'm always running a 5 minutes behind, a buffer.
Yes.
A retail shift buffer of 3 minutes.
What is it that they call it? The grace period.
Yeah, I'm within the grace period.
Yeah.
But early? No. The only time I'm ever early is for an acting gig or something that I want to do.
Yeah. Word.
Except hang out.
I know. I was going to say, what about we hang out? Because sometimes I'm late too, but not on purpose.
I think with friends, it's different.
Yeah.
You get a 10-minute buffer.
Yeah, I think you allow a little more with friends. When it's not like an official, like when you're not like, yeah. I know what you're saying.
No, I think we've both been late.
I think we just give each other grace because we're
always
we
late.
Know each other. We're just late. It's like those memes. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm on the way." It's like just getting ready. We used to do that a lot.
Oh my
Not so much anymore.
I'm on the way. An on the way text where your hair is still wrapped up in a towel and you're on your bed, like fully.
Mentally, you are walking out the door, though, right?
I'll be right there.
You're like literally mentally almost there.
Yeah, you're almost getting ready. They don't need to know that. They don't know how fast I can get ready and get out this door. They'll underestimate me and then they'll be upset.
Mm-hmm.
When I could just make them wait a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
And they're none the wiser.
Just a few. That's right.
I'm just pro-lying.
Me too.
Have you ever been late to a party? Have you ever been early to a party? Because nothing's worse than being actually early to a literal party.
That's true. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've been early to a party. I haven't even been to that many parties. Very much like these girls in Booksmart. The only parties I've been to have been in college with you. I've never been to a high school party. Like ever.
Never ever?
Never ever. Have you?
Once or twice. I too really relate to, was it Amy and Molly?
I feel like if we had gone to high school together, this would have been us.
It probably would have. Yeah, because there was a break. Because, we've known each other forever. But in high school, we did not go to the same high schools.
It would have been nice, though.
It would have been really nice. And I feel like if we were in high school together, I would have obviously been the Beanie Feldstein role.
Yeah.
To your Caitlin Deaver. But I would maybe be like, hey, Brie, let's go to more parties. I think.
Do you think you'd have a meltdown, though, and be like, we've fucked up? We've messed up. We've been doing this whole thing wrong.
Well,
we've had no fun.
Okay, so the plot of Booksmart is, so academic overachievers Amy and Molly thought keeping their noses to the grindstone give them a leg up on their high school peers. But on the eve of graduation, the best friends suddenly realized that they may have missed out on special moments of their teenage years. Determined to make up for lost time, the girls decide to cram 4 years of not-to-be-missed fun into one night, a chaotic adventure that no amount of Booksmarts could prepare them for. But yeah, the whole concept of Booksmart is, these two best friends kind of have a superiority complex.
Yes, which I feel like
I relate. I can say that because this movie does make me feel very seen.
And it humbles you in a way. You know what I mean?
It does.
When Molly is asking everyone where they're going to college.
Yeah.
And she finds out that a lot of these kids are also these popular kids. All the people that are goofing off are going to good colleges too. Mm-hmm. And she thought she was the only one going to a good college. I'm like, that is relatable.
It really is. I relate to that, especially being in high school. And I did have my Booksmarts moment of years later coming to the full realization oh, I was really judgmental. I didn't have to be that way. I was a little harsh on these people. These people seemed kind of nice and I didn't give them a fair chance. Not the other way around. The narrative that I've created in my head is a little twisted, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have to do all that. I could have had fun then. But I relate the most to Miss Fine,
Yes.
the Jessica Williams character, because
Love
that
her.
was me. I had my nose to the grindstone. I was like part the two gay theater kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I did think of you. Like, Nikki knows about this.
Those are my people.
Those are your people.
Those are our people. I
Yeah.
feel like we
were
could
around,
like
yeah.
name two people that are just like those two characters.
Both of them, yes. I
Like,
loved them though. They were hilarious.
they're my
they really
favorite
added
part.
a flair to the movie.
No, every time they were on screen, I was cackling.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for the Miss Fine, when she was like, yeah, I put my nose to the grindstone in high school and I never had any fun and I like never went to parties and I never did that. And then I went off the rails in my 20s and like partied so much in, you know, your early 20s.
Yeah.
And that was me. I think I just like didn't do anything in high school. I was like, I'm going to be an actor and get out of here. And I did get out of there and went to college and
Tore
then-
it up.
Yeah. And then I had the best time of my life, the best 4 years. So
Yeah.
no regrets, baby. But it is funny to think like Miss Fine. Oh yeah, I didn't kind of have to do that. You know, that wasn't necessary. I could have gone to a few high school parties, but
you know, that's in hindsight. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, in the moment, it makes sense.
it does. And I've had my fair share of. I'm like good. I'm still partying. We're still partying.
Yeah. There's always a party to be
There's
had.
always a party, and we're always late.
Also, parties can be overhyped. Like, I feel like this party that they go to is a little overhyped, you know?
Very much so. I loved the murder mystery party.
Yeah, that one seemed fun. I'm like, why not stay there? That seemed like a good time.
That seemed like a good time. In real life, though, murder mystery parties
oh, actually, you
are
know
like
what?
the devil's work.
I've only been to one, and it was for work.
I went with you. I was
you
your
were there.
date.
Oh my God, that's right. I dragged you to that.
You Beanie Feinsteined me
I
to
did.
my
I
Will
was like,
Forte
Malala,
music.
you must go with me. You're like, no. Yeah, I kind of blocked that. That was painful. But it really, what was most painful, well, maybe this is the way it is, because in the movie it's kind of like this too, is like you stay in character.
Mhm.
And it's very frustrating, like, as just an audience member, like, I don't know, it's definitely does seem like more fun to be playing a character. But then at the same time, like, what if you don't want to?
Yes.
And what if the mystery is dumb? Like, what if it's a dumb plot? You know what I mean? Like,
If not, okay, if everyone's not bought in and you're an outsider, it can't work. You have to be bought in 100%. Everyone does, or else like
also,
you break the illusion.
don't give away the murderer. Don't be like, oh, I murdered him. That's not a murder mystery. You
But
know?
maybe it's a red herring that could throw you off.
Maybe.
Do you relate to the Booksmart girls?
Definitely. Well, obviously, a bit of the superiority complex. I feel like that's us.
Yeah,
You know, we'll
us.
constantly trying not to, but you know, especially when you're in high school though. And then I think part of it, I think, is like maybe how we're raised, like to achieve, like not in like a bad way or anything, but like, you know, your parents are teachers. Obviously, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that kind of, I feel like sets a tone, or like my aunt and uncle were kind of old school and strict, you know, really like get those
Yeah.
A. Like I felt all this pressure to like be like, you know,
You achieve.
achieve.
Also, like,
and it means something.
You get praised when you're, especially when you're a kid, for being like an achiever or
the
like,
teachers
gifted.
praise you.
Yeah. So yeah, like also we both suffer from only child syndrome. So only children typically hang around adults all the time,
Ah.
even as a kid. So they're always, you know,
That's a good point.
and yeah,
That's why we were so mature. Right?
yeah, so mature.
It's relatable. Oh,
My parents were teachers, yeah, but they also had a superiority complex. I was raised by
Oh.
people with
yes, and so are my aunt and
Yeah.
uncle also.
because
kind of like
you know, like my mom and dad are like, we're more liberal and like we're intellectuals.
yes, the
So.
intellectual of it. Yes, I think that's
Yeah,
where
we're
it is. That's what I'm
educated.
trying to say.
We're well educated Italian Americans.
yes. Okay.
So
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
that kind of was, I can see it for you too. It all makes sense.
It all makes sense. That's where that's how we relate to these Booksmart girlies. But
Oh my gosh. What a whirlwind. We had our own Booksmart moment. But yeah, what did you think of Booksmart?
I enjoyed it. I remember seeing this with you like a while back. Did we see it in theaters? Do you remember?
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
I don't believe so. I think we saw it like pandemic time.
Yeah,
Or,
I was
like-
gonna say I thought it was after the fact,
Yeah.
but it's fuzzy. But I remember it being advertised. I really enjoyed it on the first watch and revisiting it's still really funny. It holds up, I think.
I think so. Like, this is kind of the closest thing we have to like our generational high school film. So it's an interesting watch from that perspective. Because like, even though, 5 years since 2019 has passed, a lot has changed.
I know. I loved seeing like the bumper sticker on Amy's car, like all the bumper
Elizabeth
stickers.
Warren 2020.
Yes. Oh my
Took
God.
me out.
I know. Oh, I remember when I was like, I didn't have a sticker, but I was rooting for her.
I really remember sneaking into conversations in 2019, just being like, well, like saying you were a little bit Native American's not that bad, guys. Like, what about Elizabeth Warren? She makes some good points, and just being like, shut down.
Wow. Did she say that?
Well, she for a long time, that was her big controversy.
That she was a little Native American?
Yeah, that's how she got, like, I don't know. I don't want to butcher it.
Oh, no,
that was
it's okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't really look that deep into her, but I just liked her vibes.
Yeah, I liked her vibes and her energy.
Oh, also, hold on. There's something else that was on the bumper stickers. It's I like big books and I cannot lie. Still a nasty woman.
Okay, Hillary 2016 reference.
I know. I love those references. It's like, okay.
Oh, yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. We weren't quite like them. I feel like this is a movie. It kind of is like, I forget his name in the movie, but Skylar Gisondo's character, the guy from Licorice Pizza, my favorite character in the film.
Oh, yeah.
Jared?
Jared, yeah.
Jared.
I don't know why I was going to say Fred.
He gives Fred.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like a t-shirt wearing a guy with a t-shirt wearing a t-shirt of a guy with a t-shirt with a just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Because like this movie feels very millennial in a oddly specific way.
I know what you mean. There were some parts that I was like, oh, the Harry Potter reference.
Oh my God, that would have given me the biggest ick.
I think that's the only thing that maybe hasn't aged as well.
Definitely not.
I mean, as big as Harry Potter was and stuff, and as much as I love it, I do feel like there comes a time where it's kind of, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if it's still in the vernacular. Like kids these days, I don't think are like using that. No, right? No,
but these aren't kids these days, Brie.
I know.
5 years ago.
It's such a big difference.
These are Booksmarts is not for them. Booksmarts is for us. We were the target demo for Booksmart.
That's true.
But what I was going to say is like that's interpreting like class of 2019, so like elder Gen Z. Interpreted by like Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
Who is like a Gen Xer, elder millennial
director.
Who, so it is like the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Cause like also like I watched this movie with my husband who in high school got like a copy of Superbad on his like iPhone or like PSP or whatever and watched Superbad continuously. And we were talking because I was like, oh, these actors in Booksmart are about our age. They probably were also in high school watching Superbad. And then years later, Booksmart, they're kind of in the female Superbad.
Yeah, it is basically, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. What do you make of the Superbad of it all?
I mean, I think it's just, it's kind of wild that, no pun intended, Olivia Wilde. I don't know if that was part of the inspiration, but like, it would make sense.
100%. And to cast
Jonah Hill's sister
in playing the role of, I mean, she's not as like sex obsessed, but she kind of is.
Yeah,
a little bit.
She's a little more knowledgeable in some ways than her friend Amy.
But vulnerable.
The Michael Cera character,
yes,
basically.
Which it's funny because obviously I'd be Molly, you'd be Amy in this scenario. And in our relationship, I guess I would be Jonah Hill to your Michael Cera.
I feel like we've talked about this. Like, I don't know if it was on the pod or not, but like, do you remember this?
I vaguely do. But in actuality, we'd both be Michael Cera in that scenario. Like, I feel like in every other relationship I've ever been in, I'm the Michael Cera.
Yeah. Just not ours.
You know what I mean? Just not ours. I guess because of, I don't know, my big mouth, I guess. My slightly Jewish look.
And I'm like, yeah, tell me what's what.
Yes. But I love this trope because of the turnaround of like the Michael Cera or Caitlin Dever character actually being a little bit more like emotionally mature after all, or actually more independent, or there's more to meet the eye.
Yeah.
Like, I love when you show that out in the world.
Yeah, I'm my own person.
And I love it when you're like, I'm my own person. And I also love when you shut people down in public.
I knew that's where you were going with.
I love like when Brie comes out, which only comes out like
I have to be provoked.
You're like
it's
a cat.
It's like in a roundabout way. Like though, like anytime I've been really confrontational to people, it's like so out of the blue. I feel it's either like accidentally to their face,
it's cold-blooded,
or sometimes on purpose. Like I don't know. I don't.
Also had bad trips. I feel like that's like a very like like in this film.
The girl. Yes, her Amy, right?
Amy, yes, she's talking about going to Amsterdam
She's
on
like,
a class
I had
trip.
a pot brownie once or whatever, some type of edible situation. I'm like, oh, girl, that's what did it for me.
Like the party that we went to.
That New Year. Yeah.
Yeah, that New Year's Eve.
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I feel like most parties can be skipped. I think that kind of how she was talking. It's like,
yes.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm much of a party person.
Every party that you've gone to, have I dragged you to?
I don't know if you've dragged me. I think in college, I saw it as an opportunity to have fun. I didn't have a lot of like, because I had some, sponsibilities at home that I couldn't really be out late for a while. Like there were certain things where I kind of wasn't able to party. I was kind of like also very introverted and,
I just
was
didn't
in
think
French
it was your
club.
bag. Yeah.
But no, I think I secretly wanted to party. It's just like I didn't know anyone. So like, yeah, you kind of helped me make some friends and like it was fun. The parties we went to were always fun, and they were always chill. They were more like kickbacks. Like it was nothing too crazy.
Well,
there's a couple, there's a couple house parties. I was like, like the ones where people fall asleep out on the lawn.
Totally. Well, you weren't there for the craziest times. I spared you the craziest times.
You did. Yeah. Did you just bring me to the tame parties? Like, did you know? Like, were you like?
Well, yeah, like. I do remember going to like frat parties, especially like freshman and sophomore year, and just like crazy parties that I was like, oh, Brie could probably skip that. That might not be her bag.
Social butterfly.
I feel like I was, especially. I feel like the older I've gotten, the more like antisocial I've gotten. But maybe it's just like the locale,
I think it is.
The people we're surrounded with now.
I think that's part of it. I also want to say that like even though I'm not like a big party person, I can still bring the party. Like I still like to have
always
fun.
Do.
It just depends on who I'm around, and I like to karaoke.
If you went to, is it Nick's party?
Yeah, I would be vibing. There's a karaoke room. I mean,
you would be deep throating that mic. You ought to know, and you know it.
I would have been, what's his face up there for sure. I would like probably just stick in that room, honestly.
Is the theater kid with the glasses, is that like who you are on the inside?
Maybe just a little.
Is that your moon?
I think it is.
He's my favorite character, Brie.
I know. I love him. I'm not taking offense at all. No, it's a compliment.
No.
What is his name? George. His name is George.
Love you, George.
And are you Alan?
Well, I know who that is. I know someone.
Yeah.
You know this person too. Deep in my... I'm like, I clocked that right away. That is like a good teen comedy, though. All of these like high school tropes. We see it in, like the typical high school coming of age films or like a Mean Girls. But when you can pinpoint an exact person, even though it's like kind of like a tropey character.
Yeah.
I think you got some juice there.
I know what you mean. I even felt like Nick. I'm like, oh, I feel like I know that guy. Or like the guy with the long hair who's kind of like a stone.
Yes.
Theo.
The guy from Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah. That's where I'm like, where have I seen this guy? Maybe. Well, is that why I think he's a stoner? Was he getting stoned? He just gives those vibes.
I think he just gives the vibes. But there were so many members of this cast that have gone on to do so many things. It's like the popular guy in school that Molly has a crush on. He's the guy from Scream.
Oh, yeah.
The new Screams.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, isn't he from Scream? Nick, right?
Yeah.
And then Billie Lourd, who plays Gigi, isn't she in Scream Queens?
She's in Scream Queens. Right. Yeah, Carrie Fisher's daughter.
Yeah, that's right.
Who was in The Last Showgirl. which we just saw like a couple months
She
ago.
was. That's right. She was the daughter. Okay,
Yeah.
this is why I was like, why do I feel like I've seen her somewhere recently?
Yes. Yep. That's why.
I will say, like, this movie, I think the cast was like perfect.
It's impeccable. There's so many, like, I don't think Booksmart is a perfect film. There's a lot of flaws.
Really?
Like, I think directionally, like, and script wise, like, maybe not a lot of flaws. I guess it just had some minor problems with the direction of it, perhaps.
Okay.
But the casting is impeccable. Like, all of these characters are so interesting and cool and, like, do feel lived in and real. But these actors take the material and, like, make it. I don't know. I just, like, love the whole cast.
Also, like, Jason Sudeikis as the
Yes.
principal.
Oh my God. The tea. Olivia Wilde, Jason Sudeikis,
I
the
know.
lore.
Right. Was she fooling with Harry behind his back at this time? This is what, 2018?
Yeah.
So maybe not yet.
Maybe not yet, but thinking about it.
She's just thinking.
Premeditated. Just
She's at home on her YouTubes watching Harry Styles performances. That's my
listening
guess.
to, like, what, Sign of the Times. Just being like,
She's like, yeah, it is a sign.
yeah, it is a sign. Whipping up that Nora Ephron dressing, just whisking it together,
Mm.
making Jason Sudeikis those lovely salads.
Oh,
What a time. That feels like 10,000 years ago. Like
I
the
know.
whole "Don't worry, darling," Jason Sudeikis.
apparently they were seen hugging it out recently, so
Huh, they worked it out.
I think they worked it out. Yeah,
Good.
I mean, they still have kids together, so I guess
Beautiful.
too.
Aw.
That's beautiful.
You really are. You really are Amy. I just called someone AAA, and you're like, don't call them that.
Oh, I love it.
Well, basically, this film was about our lives.
This is a documentary of us.
What was it? I just was thinking about this before you came over. But the interaction with Ryan, the girl that Amy has a crush on,
Oh, yeah.
that conversation after, I feel like we've had that exact conversation.
We have the one that's like, let's go, but one of us won't say why.
No, when she's like, when Molly's like, oh, you should talk to her. And then she comes back. And then she's like, well, what if she's not? What if that's just how she's presenting? I feel like you've told me that verbatim. Like, what if just someone is gender presenting?
Yeah, true. That's a good point. Yeah, you don't know someone's preferences. That's a very good point. And that it ends up being true. You don't know someone's preferences. Just because someone looks like they might be like gay, they may not. They could be bisexual. They could be straight. You don't know. They could be anywhere in between.
You're doing it right now to me.
I do like that this movie addresses things like that. Like it's cutesy to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cute. Look at them being all inclusive and stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
It's cute. I feel like this movie walked so that Bottoms could run.
It did. It gave like the launching pad for Bottoms, which
Love that movie too.
I do. Like, these two comedies kind of understand me at a certain level. Also, I didn't mean to say that, like, because the character is queer and was hitting on a girl. I just meant it because you've said that, like, just about people. Like, it really wasn't my intention. Also, I believe you are both Ryan and Amy at the same time.
Really? I was wondering this to myself.
Sorry.
Oh, because sometimes I feel like Ryan is who I want to be, but I feel more, you know what I mean? Or like outwardly present, but I think I'm a little more Amy internally.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. But she just seems cool, you know?
She really
She's got her tattoos. I just wouldn't get tattoos probably just because I'm a weenie. But
You really are blended in.
but she's also so aloof and like, I don't know.
You
I
present
could
like
be.
that. Yeah. That's
I've
your
had, like-
gender presenting. You gender present as Orion, but you're inside an Amy. Yeah.
Oh, did you know? You know, like the motivational voice in the very beginning?
Mm-hmm.
It's Maya Rudolph.
Yes, I saw that in the credits.
I didn't realize that.
Can you believe?
I love that. I want this tape. I want this tape that she's listening to, the motivational. I don't know if it's just in her mind. I don't care.
It's like a Maya Rudolph's character in Big Mouth, like the hormone monster. She's just a figment of Beanie Feldstein's imagination.
Pretty much. I love it though. She's like, what does she say? She's like, oh, you're a winner or something. Like, fuck all the losers
Yes.
that underestimated you.
Those have sounded like my pep talks in my head, and that's not okay.
I love it though. I
I'm
think
exposed.
I love it.
How'd you feel about Will Forte and Lisa Kudrow as the parents?
I love them. I mean, I love Will Forte. Also, I feel like him and Lisa Kudrow together had some chemistry there. Like, they were just so goofy. And
it really reminded me of, like, the parents in Easy A. Like, Stanley Tucci and, I forget that actress's name. But just, like, the cool parents.
Stanley Tucci's in Easy A?
Yeah. Oh, you've never
I've still never seen Easy A. I know. We
great.
gotta add that to the list.
That film is a film that I watched around the time I was in high school. That was my Superbad, because I was late to the party on Superbad. I saw that maybe like 2 years ago on TV at like a hotel and was like, oh, I actually like Superbad. But yeah, Easy A is like my Superbad.
Emma Stone's in that too, in both. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Which that's Superbad came out first, right?
Yeah.
So
it came out in like 2007, which I didn't realize it was like that long ago. Superbad is a film that seems just like both timeless and of its time.
Yeah.
Which I think is like the perfect balance. And maybe Booksmart will be like that. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
What did you think of Superbad?
From what I recall, it was pretty funny and pretty cheap. It's a similar premise too, right?
It's a almost
it's
identical
like
premise.
Yeah, it's like the last week before graduation. They want to like turn up. They want to drink. They want to party. They want to score.
Yeah, a lot of Superbad is more about hooking up with girls. I feel Booksmart, their characters are more well-rounded.
Yeah.
And if we were to make the comparisons, it's almost the reverse. Like, typically male buddy comedies have a little more juice, but Superbad guys are very like one track.
Yeah, they don't have and they're not at the top of their class either.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're just regular boys.
They're dudes. They're just dudes.
Yeah. I mean, they're a little nerdy maybe, but they're not like the valedictorian or
no. But they're not McLovin either.
They're not McLovin. Yeah, that's true. They have like a third friend in that situation. And then there's like the cops are involved, right? Like
Bill Hader and not Jonah Hill. The other one. Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
So you can't put them in the same movie. I think
it gets confusing.
I think that's why I didn't see Superbad for a long time. Because
why? Too much of Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen together?
Well, as a kid, like growing up, I loved Knocked Up as a teen. I like watched it on E all the time. So I was very familiar with Seth Rogen. But I think then once Jonah Hill came into the mix in that like Judd Apatow universe, I got my wires crossed. And now they're both in Superbad. That's why I probably thought I saw Superbad. And I was like, yeah, I've seen Knocked Up 10,000 times.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Michael Cera and Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
They confuse me. They have very similar vibes. Similar hair.
I love them both.
Yeah. They're charming in their own way.
I think that's the only thing, if we were to compare the two films, Caitlin Dever is not my I like love Michael Cera.
Yeah.
And I do not care for Jonah Hill.
I think that too is like, I don't know. Although I will say I think Jonah Hill has kind of grown on me a little. Like I liked him in 21 Jump Street.
I liked him in Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, okay. See, I still haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street. That's crazy. He's one of the wolves.
I suppose. But I loved the females in Booksmart equally. But just like Jonah Hill, love Michael Cera.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
so how does that rank with the Booksmart
I don't
compared
know.
to like Superbad?
Does my love for Michael Cera override my high liking of these two women? Who's to say?
It's still up in the air.
Who is to say?
Your love for Michael Cera goes strong.
Well, and Jesse Eisenberg, to be honest. So even if you got confused and changed them on me, I might still pick them.
Wow.
However, Beanie Feldstein's a really great actress.
I love her. I love her vibes. You know, I will say this movie did make me think of Lady Bird a bit.
Yes.
Because it is talking about two best friends, you know, and then there's a certain point where they're like, they have like a fight or something. There's like tension and you're like, oh no. I mean, I feel like the stakes seem a little less like they seem a little more in tune with each other in Booksmart than in Lady Bird. We're kind of just seeing Lady Bird's point of view and they're kind of having their own little journeys for a moment and then they come back together.
Yeah.
But there's that aspect, I think, of like their friendship where like when you're in high school, you're learning who you are and you're like trying all this stuff.
Yeah, like
You know?
a lot of the beats in Booksmart, like the emotional beats, remind me of Lady Bird a lot.
Yeah, and especially like that end scene at the airport. I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, did Olivia Wilde just watch like Lady Bird and
She stole like an artist, okay?
and Superbad?
She read that one book from Urban Outfitters from like 2013.
Yeah.
But no, I see the similarities. That's one of my favorite coming of age films. Lady Bird is probably my favorite coming of age film.
It's so good.
Yeah. What is your favorite?
Huh. I don't know. I'm thinking because I really did enjoy Booksmart. I loved Bottoms.
That's a good one.
I'm trying to think if there's any that I've seen like just growing up, that have impacted me.
Like Ferris Bueller. That's sticking you.
Not really. See, I was really late to the Ferris Bueller party.
Same.
I mean, I enjoy it. It's a good movie. But it doesn't have that. It's almost, it doesn't hit the same. Like some of the 80s ones don't hit the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the ones that are supposed to, or in my mind, that's, I
Well,
don't know. People say
like 16
Pretty in Pink
Candles doesn't. Yeah.
actually, I haven't seen that one either. But what's that? There's Breakfast Club.
Yes.
Like the Breakfast Club. That one.
It's cute. I like
cute.
it.
I like it.
But yes, it doesn't resonate with me quite like that.
Yeah.
I guess if we're talking about like an older film, for me, Empire Records.
Yeah.
If you could count that.
I like Empire Records.
But
Can you count Kiki's Delivery Service? It's animated, but
it's
it's coming of age.
Yeah. What's a good coming of age film? I haven't seen Edge of 17, but I hear that one's really excellent.
Perks of Being a Wallflower, of course.
At the time,
That
was a movie. If we're talking about generational films, if you're a millennial, Perks of Being a Wallflower was probably that movie for you. Yeah, I don't know how that movie did in the box office, but it really hit with the youth, the culture.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, mine might also be Lady Bird, just because I can't think of anything else that's had the same impact and really captured like that feeling, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, every time I watch Lady Bird, I shed a tear.
Same.
Greta Gerwig really captured friendship and the complexities of a mother-daughter relationship.
Yeah.
It is kind of insane how perfect Lady Bird is.
You can't really top it.
Yeah. I mean, even down to the needle drops. Everything about Lady Bird, so like succinct and perfect and just fits.
Yeah. I love that film. I don't know. It's perfect. You're right.
How did you feel about, speaking of Bottoms, I could see some like editing and like choice of music in Booksmart. It kind of makes me think of Bottoms.
Yeah, so some of the music is kind of like upbeat or like kind of party music or
Yeah. Not quite Party for You by Charlie XCX. Not quite the Bottoms, like all Charlie.
yeah, that's right.
All
It
the
was all
time?
Charlie XCX, wasn't it?
But what were your thoughts on the soundtrack in this film? Because it was oddly specific, just making me think of my high school experience. I'm like, why did Olivia Wilde pick so many Rah Rah Riot songs? Like, did she also get the free Urban Outfitters downloads for like Friday music every week? Like,
Maybe.
what? Like, such a weird, an interesting choice,
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the soundtrack?
I mean, I enjoyed it. It's very upbeat. It's got a lot of energy, I think it adds to like the scenes. Like I love when it's like a slow-mo motion, like when a character's walking down the hall or something. Like it just adds drama.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember that Money song, Likely 47, where it's like money. Well, that's Cardi B. Hold on. It's like
the funniest scene in Booksmart is when Jason Sudeikis, their principal, is their Uber driver or Lyft driver, and they get the aux cord, and of course, porn starts playing, and he's like, "Is that Cardi B?"
Oh, I love it. I love Jason Sudeikis. He's so funny.
Yes. And 1 year before WAP, what a Nostradamus!
Wow, what a prediction!
Yes, what a Miss Cleo.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed Boys by Lizzo.
I knew.
I clocked that. I was like, oh yeah, I remember listening to this song. I remember when Lizzo was a moment. Like, I remember this song being a big deal, to me.
Yeah.
Personally.
I wish this film did lean into kind of the female Superbad of it all in the way of the soundtrack. Like, what I love about Superbad is like the 70s like funk music. And then I loved in this film when it would lean into it, like, this is going to be crazy to hear out of my mouth. I say more Lizzo. More songs like
I wanted more of that too. There were some songs where I didn't know all of them, and I'm like, oh, who is this? I mean, even looking at it now, I'm like,
probably those really random Rah Rah Riot songs that I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh wow, they had an Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros song. Did you know that?
No. Another Urban Outfitters free music download.
I think these are. One of these songs, the artist in Twilight that sings that Possibility song where they spin around in the chair? She also sings Unchained Melody.
Oh,
at the end.
Oh.
When they're like parting ways at the airport or something?
Oh.
It's like, I think, right? Isn't that the song?
Yeah. Huh.
Or am I tripping?
She did a cover of it?
I guess
that
so.
was the one that played.
According to this playlist.
The Unchained Melody was the song that played at the end. I didn't know that was Likey Lee.
Oh, yeah. Santa Gold. Look at these hoes.
Yeah, yep. Love Santa Gold.
I thought of you. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yes.
I know you fuck with Santa Gold, so.
Do. Wonder what she's up to.
Yeah.
Where's Santa Gold?
She made some bangers.
She paved the way. I miss her, and I miss, like, MIA.
Yes.
Like, that specific, like, genre of alternative women.
They have a really cool sound. I don't know.
I would say the soundtrack to this is pretty all over the place.
Yeah, I know
it's
what you
Note
mean.
the Bling Ring, which that one, when we watched it, if we're talking about just our high school experience or like our teenage years.
Speaking of MIA, Live Fast, Die Young,
Bad Girls Do It Well. See, the Bling Ring was the...
They could have had more of that, yeah.
But it's a different time, like 2019, that's a little younger than us.
Yeah, maybe this is what the kids were listening to, and we just...
Highly doubt it, but
you ought to know being
still
featured,
hits.
that still hits. Timeless.
There's going to be a period piece one day of teenagers living their best life, youngins getting their first tastes of freedom. And you know what they're going to play? And it's going to be like an old-timey song.
You ought to know.
Closer by the Chainsmokers. And then it's going to hit you. That's when the moment is going to, like, your heart's going to finally sink.
That's when you feel like really old.
I feel like
you're waiting for the Chainsmokers moment in a film.
Yeah. Or like Roses by the Chainsmokers. That's a really, like, that's the...
Yeah.
That's like the moment. But
they had
no,
such a hold.
They did. When we were 18, 20, 19, whatever, how old we were.
Yeah.
I really don't even remember.
I don't know either.
That was we were in college, so Chainsmokers.
Mm-hmm. So at some point, someone's going to make a movie about the
2010s. But then now, okay, this is a tangent, but so we had the Chainsmokers, right? Nowadays, in college, they have Charlie XCX, Brat era. I mean, we had Charlie XCX too, but
not the Brat era.
No, we had
Jelly.
We had Vroom Vroom.
If we did, what would we do?
That's true. They're could
have been out of control.
True, but like we had good Charlie XCX as well. The middle generation, the class of 2019, what were they listening to? Were there any bangers like that in 2019? You know what I mean? Like, what were the teens gonna party to?
Just
right
Lizzo?
In between.
Phone? That would be my choice. You could just on loop. Only Lizzo. Yeah.
Maybe Lizzo.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think 2019. I don't know.
What were people actually probably just like, I don't know, like Lil Peep, like Pop Smoke,
Lil Peep?
Dula Peep? Maybe Dula Peep. Maybe Dula Peep. One kiss is all it takes. That'd be me. That was me in 2019.
I know. Oh, yeah. I'm like, I could look at my playlists. I bet there's something there.
You're just like, only Lizzo. Cardi B.
It probably is. Actually, yeah, I think that's when, isn't that when her Bodak Yellow song came out? Was it 2019?
2018, 2019, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were at parties in 2018, 2019, but I can't remember what we were listening to.
I know.
But if it was mumble rap, I mean, like, no offense to that genre, but we might have just I remember like ambient music. Yeah, like a Juice World, Travis Scott. Just like a lot of music that blends together.
Probably.
But did we have a 2019 like party song, you know? Like the Swedish House Mafia, you know what I mean? Or Calvin Harris, like anything to get you.
I'm going to look up what was released in 2019 because that seems so long ago. Cellophane by FKA Twigs.
Me.
Oh, Seven Rings. Ariana Grande came out. Remember that?
I do.
Motivation. Normani had
good song.
That was a new song at that point. Let's see. Oh, My Type. Saweetie.
That wasn't okay. That did actually play in the clubs.
I feel like Act Up was like an earthquake. You know, it's like that song was released and nothing was the same. It was like boom.
Yes, I mean we do have.
We all remember.
We have like a Pavlovian response to Act Up by the City Girls, though, because anytime that song plays, you and I are both like scurrying into the dance, just throwing it back.
Yep. You've got to.
It's the only way.
That's right.
Yeah. I think also talking about high school films or like coming of age films, and obviously a film that like is supposed to be made for people, like for us, to cater to our sensibilities, especially in 2019. Like it is a certain, as much as I relate to these girls, I'm also like, I'm always a little triggered by talking about high school.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was thinking about this as well because, well, you know, they go to this party. Nothing turns out the way like they had planned it, and it's disappointing. I feel like that's just high school in a nutshell. Like everything's so disappointing. The social hierarchy of it all is uncomfortable. You know, I don't like thinking about high school. I mean, you know, I never really fit in. I feel like that's another thing is like, the characters are relatable, but then it's like, yeah, it's hard not to watch it and be like a little like uncomfy maybe. But also like, how much does it matter? It's high school.
100%. Yeah, I think my high school experience was similar in that way of like, oh, it was just disappointing. Like a lot of things that you see in like movies or like pillars of being in high school, like homecoming or prom or whatever. And maybe it's a superiority complex, or maybe not. Who cares and who's to say? But for me, back then, everything was a disappointment. Yeah. I'd do the thing and I'd just be deflated. It would be like when Amy is in the water, just watching, her crush and her best friend's crush make out, and then she just leaves. Like, I feel like I was that person, just like always in high school, always just like utterly disappointed by everything I was told. This is how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
So even though the message is like everyone's cool, like for me, focusing on just my studies and focusing on theater and making that my life actually did serve me very well. And I had so much fun in college that it didn't fucking matter who I was in high school, because college, those were the good years. Like my teacher told me that, like my English teacher told me that early on, and I kept it in my back pocket and always like hoped it was true, because everyone says high school's the glory days.
It's not.
College actually is, and you're an adult and you're becoming more and more autonomous, and like life doesn't end after that. It doesn't end after, you turn 22 and graduate college. Like you're not old yet at 25.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like this message, while it's a good one of not being an asshole.
Yeah, it's like, don't be so judgy. But at the same time, okay, I do have this opinion as well.
Yeah.
Was it really so bad that these girls just focused on their studies? Maybe that's me projecting, because I probably did miss out on a lot of things objectively. But I don't know if I really feel like I missed out, or if it's like that feeling you're meant to feel like you missed out on something. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like high school is so full of these like social things. Like, it's like you're always constantly worried about how you're being perceived. You know, you really care what people think. And then you get out in the real world and it's like, okay, who cares?
And that's freedom. At least for me, that was the freest thing, is like being 18 and realizing like high school put me in an unintentional box, whether I did that myself or not. I was like pinned down to something, and now I'm like free.
Yeah. I mean, college, no one cares.
No. And you make so many friends and so many like-minded people. And I don't know if it's just where, we both grew up or, that's like a everyone experience if you grew up in like the suburbs,
Yeah. I feel like it's pretty universal, probably.
Also, so unrelatable that everyone is going to an Ivy League school.
Okay, that part was a little shocking. I mean, while I could
point made.
I mean, I do feel like in my high school, like, yeah, there may have been some popular people that I was like, oh, they're smart too. But I think I also maybe looked at people one-dimensional.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess that goes to show. That is probably you're right, Brie.
I mean, there is I do like that, but it's also like, a message. I guess to me, I don't know. It's like, I guess you can have different, for me now, I feel like I take that into because we're not in school anymore. No one's grading you.
No. But sometimes it feels like that, but no one's grading you.
No one's grading you. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's important to have fun. But I don't know what my point was, really.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of pressure. And obviously this movie deals with that. Like Amy and Molly feel this pressure to do one last thing, and to prove that they're fun.
Yeah, they had to. That's really what started.
And it is relatable. Like I've had that conversation with you before of people don't know that we're fun.
Yeah.
But the right people will. I have to tell myself this now because, when you hit your mid to late 20s, something happens called your Saturn return.
Oh yeah, true.
So during this process of my Saturn return, I've had a lot of things come up again and a lot of lessons. And my biggest lesson so far has been to not care so much because it really doesn't matter. A lot of these outcomes that you put on yourself, you think people are looking at you they're not. You're standing in your own way.
Yeah.
And to kind of...
Everyone has their own problems. Stuff they're going through. And
just kind of the only way to move forward is to actually move forward.
Yeah. Don't be stuck in a certain way of thinking or
in your high school self-purgatory.
Yeah.
You don't have to think like that anymore or view the world like that. It's one-dimensional. You're an adult now, so everyone's just chill with each other or should be.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, if anyone's caught up in high school mess, that's on them, right?
Yeah. Or acting like that, I think, it's really
judgy.
Funny. Yeah. Or I feel like the internet sometimes can be high school.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
That way.
There's a lot of bullies out there. A lot of people just because they can, I guess.
Or people that want to fit you in a box and try to just keep pushing you there. But there's always a time to change the narrative.
That's true. And you can do that anytime.
Yep. I just think in high school it's harder.
Yeah.
Perhaps. But they had their one moment of fun, which was nice.
It was. Yeah. I think it's still good to experience something. They bonded.
Yeah.
As far that's how you do it. I think if you and your bestie go to a party, that's cool. If you went by yourself, it may not be quite as fun. And you don't have that emotional support, but you go with your bestie,
you're having
memories are made. You're always gonna look back and be like, oh my God, that one party we went to, that New Year's party, as crazy as it was, as much of a time that I personally had, and I was like, oh my God. It was still fun. Looking back, I'm like, oh, I'm glad we did that because it's a memory.
Yes.
Yeah,
we're still talking about you eating the whole pot brownie and me, being you're not going to the hospital and you being you hate me.
Having a meant to be at the same time.
As I vomited all over my dad's futon.
Yeah.
Chunks of, what is it, crudité?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The whole spread. Memories. But
I think we did want to be cool though. Maybe just a little. No.
How so?
I don't know. I did anyway.
I feel like I was so
I think
because
I was point. I think I was maybe you do have to get some partying out of your system at some point in your life.
100%.
You know what I mean? And for me, I was a late bloomer.
Yeah, and for me, it already was oh, I know what this is. Bree's gonna have to get through it. It's gonna suck, but also there's only the way out, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I love how this film did handle that, aspect of friendship is taking risks and doing stuff together and being honest.
Yeah. The thing that made me mad was when Amy, I get that she didn't want to hurt Molly's feelings and be tell her about her crush. But at the same time, it's okay, well, either she's gonna see it or find out about it somehow. Like, you might as well just tell her. Also, you're upset too. It's a valid reason why you want to leave. Just be like, look, both of our crushes are making out. I guess we're both crushed. You know, like, you don't, like, no, I kind of don't blame Molly for being, like, upset a bit because it's kind of coming out of the blue.
I mean, yeah. I do side with Molly in the fight too, just being, like, a little heartbroken that, like, she had all these plans. Going to college with Amy, and she's like, well, I'm not going to do that. I never planned on doing that. That is a little heartbreaking.
That's a little sneaky. Yeah. That's a little sad. Well, that's just a lie.
Yeah.
You know?
But then I get it from the other point of view, you know?
Yeah. But I think I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe, I think when you're younger too, there's like maybe your confidence and it's different.
And you don't want to disappoint.
You don't want to, yeah, that's true.
I did like the friendship in this film. To just circle back to the Superbad of it all. Like, in Superbad, Jonah Hill's character does essentially bully Michael Cera's character a lot. And just, like, act, you know, bigger, badder than him and just kind of steamroll him and push him around. And I do love how Molly and Amy are equals.
Yeah.
Like, Amy is definitely chiller, you know, cooler in a way, but they kind of balance each other out.
They do.
They kind of are like the yin and yang, which in Superbad they're not on equal footing because Jonah Hill's
he is a little aggressive.
So aggressive, yeah. And Michael Cera is so meek. So
he is. He's like, poor Superman.
But he gets Michael the girl.
He does, doesn't he?
Oh, that's my man. Speaking of men, I did a deep dive on Walton. Not even a deep dive, but have you been on Walton Goggins' Instagram?
No, but I've been seeing a lot of Walton Goggins talks that I've been meaning to send you. But
the lore or the rumors about him and Amy Lou Wood.
No, what are the rumors?
Just go on the talk. But what was I gonna say? Walton Goggins, you know, celebrity side hustles and how they're getting out of hand.
I mean, you mean like makeup lines, things like that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. What's he got going on?
Walton or Goggins goggles.
Okay.
You know about Goggins goggles?
I didn't think that was real. I thought that was just a joke.
Is it a joke or is it real?
No, I just heard it on like Spotify or like one of the like an ad or something, and I was like, Goggins. Like, I'm like, oh, he's just joking around.
It has a real Instagram page.
Oh, it's probably real, I guess. That's crazy. But does he even wear glasses?
They're not. They're like ski glasses or ski looking glasses.
And are they like a fashion statement or are they are they like sunglasses?
No, they're like fashion statement. I don't know if they're sunglasses like proper, but
I'll have to look into this. Are you going to get some?
Totally. To represent, but he also has like gin or bourbon or
he does? Like Bill Murray? Wait, does Bill Murray have that or is that just his character?
Lost in translation. Very much like a Ryan Reynolds aviation gin style beverage line. Who knew Walton Goggins has a celebrity side hustle too?
Good for him, you know?
Yeah. Get that shmoney.
Yeah. You go, Walton Goggins. Yeah. Get that bag.
Yeah, what did you think about the way Booksmart showed female friendships?
I think pretty accurate, I suppose.
I would say so. Yeah. I think best friendships for sure.
Definitely best friendships. I feel like it focuses a lot on that. I mean, I did think it was interesting, the AAA of it all, though.
Oh, yes.
You know? Because AAA says something like, oh, I assumed that the guys would call me that, but not the girls or something, which made me think, because I do feel like as females, sometimes we're very judgy. Like there's that built-in competition aspect or like, you know what I mean? Like just
100%.
As much as you try to escape it or whatever, it still maybe exists in like micro isms.
And like, especially with the character of Molly, she's such an outward feminist, like the most 2016, 2017 coded, like we should all be feminist, Malala.
Yeah.
Like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, like pussy hat feminist, you know?
Yeah.
And for her to just really judge AAA, even though she does outwardly project, she has like that internalized misogyny.
Yeah. That is interesting, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've done that maybe. I feel like everyone has to some degree.
I definitely have. Not proud of it, though.
But I thought it was interesting. It's like they could be friends. You don't know.
Yeah.
Like if they go to college. I think they're going to the same college.
Yes.
And when college is an equalizer.
It is.
So.
It is very true. So.
But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed how they portrayed like the best friend aspect, like Molly and Amy.
Yeah.
That was pretty cute.
What did you think of the teacher?
Miss Fine.
Miss Fine.
Well, every time I hear Miss Fine, I always think the nanny, which is funny. I'm like, yeah, Miss Fine.
Mr. Sheffield.
Oh, I really enjoyed her. She seems like someone fun to hang out with, you know? I mean, like, she's like a cool teacher. I thought it was kind of wild she hooked up with that one boy. I mean, technically, he was 20. He was held back a couple grades.
Yeah.
He's going to go work for Google. I say, go ahead, girl. She didn't break any rule. Well, you know, I mean, they've already graduated. Well, they're about to.
They're about to graduate. Hey.
They invited her. I mean, she's having a moment, you know? She'll probably never go to another high school party like that.
Because what? She's probably like around our age, right?
Yeah. I think she had a mission in mind with that because she didn't hang out with anyone else, you know? She wasn't like
it's true.
Too weird.
She was like cool enough. Like she's pretty cool teacher, like a super young teacher that's like, I'm going to go to the party, but I'm not going to be like weird about it.
Yeah. I feel like in high school too, it's always weird when you have like a younger teacher, you know, because you're like, wait a minute, you're almost like me, but you're not. How can you give me this, like, how can you be the authority figure? I don't know. Did you ever have teachers like that where you're like,
yes.
Huh.
You know, in high school, a few and far between, but I remember having in middle school, and obviously the age difference is way bigger there, but a young teacher in 8th grade. And like, even like 13-year-old me knew that this dude was going to get fired. He was like 25. And I don't think he opened up the textbook once, but he showed like this like Jon Stewart book to the class. Yes, the Daily Show joke book as actual history, and like would talk about Pokemon, and like I don't think he ever
was he accredited.
I have no idea. I mean, it was a public school, but I have no clue what this dude was doing. And he would show movies, and then he didn't come back the next year. I think he got fired, but
yeah, it does make me think. I'm like, oh, maybe I could be a teacher. I always think like, no, I'm not cut out for that. I don't have the chops. I don't have the know-how.
Just make up your own rules.
But maybe you can.
Pull a Mr. A. Cool. Just pop your polo and teach nonsense. Get fired, but
it could be a fun journey.
Have a great fun year.
Yeah,
do it.
Go
for
to
the
a high school party.
Yes.
Oh
yeah, but maybe do it in high school, not middle school.
Yeah,
then you just get
not middle school. Yeah,
you just get a bunch of tweens being like, this isn't gonna last, is it?
That'd be awkward. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a teacher out in the wild?
Yeah, I've run into teachers in the grocery store, mostly Food Line specifically. Used to happen a lot, or BJ's, a wholesale place. You know, just it's always slightly awkward, but not too bad. Have you run into any teachers in the wild? Or do they cease to exist outside?
They cease to exist. I mean, growing up with teachers and my parents being teachers, like they would get stopped like celebrities, like out at the mall on the weekend.
They still do, don't they?
They still do by old students, yeah. I don't think I've seen a lot of teachers out in the wild. I mean, I always think it's weird even when you see like coworkers out in the wild. It's like they shouldn't exist in my mind almost. No offense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like a weird, it's like it just hits different.
Mm-hmm. I have seen like a former boss like kissing someone that wasn't their wife.
No.
Mm-hmm. Really? Yeah.
Do tell.
At the Fresh Market.
Was this recent?
Semi.
That's wild. The things you have to go to the grocery store to really see things, I guess. It's
yeah.
a lesson.
That really is. But yeah, just turn a blind eye. You don't see me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big, like, if we're not where we're supposed to be.
You've not seen anything.
No. Or like if I ran into a teacher in the wild, it's like a hey. Bye.
Did you think, well, speaking of seeing people and Booksmart, did you think it was funny how they tied together that pizza delivery man?
Yes.
That they saw, like he ended up being the strangler
or
whatever.
And he was giving them a lecture on not entering strange cars.
Yeah.
I loved that payoff. It was good.
Yeah.
There were a couple moments in this movie where I was like, oh, I respect the payoff.
You know what I thought was a really funny scene?
Yeah.
Jared's boat party.
I'll say it once, I say it again. Jared, played by Skylar Gisondo, my favorite.
I loved him. Everyone was so like rude to him. Like honestly, he might have had the best party.
He was the best person. He was the kindest, the sweetest.
Yeah.
The funnest.
The funnest, coolest car.
Cool car. He listens to inspirational, independent women before his parties.
He's my pick.
Yes.
I'm like, Molly, go after him.
Yes.
You know, obviously Nick is too busy, like too concerned with himself. Like this guy's concerned. Like Jared, like cares about everyone.
He does.
Like he's rich, yeah. You know, he might be just a little out of touch, but he's also trying to be self-aware.
Very much so. And he compliments her. He's nice to everyone.
Yeah, he gives them a ride. He gives gift bags with free iPad.
Yeah.
Loaded with memories from the year from school. Like that's like really thoughtful.
That's sweet.
And you're going to use that iPad in college. I think they all should have gone to Jared's party.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a light up floor.
I love a light up floor. He also has a DJ booth where he's the DJ and he has his own Daft Punk helmet on.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, no. I thought he was the funniest character.
I feel so sad for him and disappointed. Like no one's at his party.
I know, but that's the party that I want to be at.
Yeah. Like I get they're trying to be like, oh, you can't buy people's affection. But honestly, like you could have maybe have bought mine.
Yeah. Also, he was very nice to everyone and thougtul. So
he had like a personalized hat for Molly. Like
yeah,
like an airbrushed hat.
But that goes to show you, I feel like the dudes or the people that are like Jared actually are like the people when you go out into the real world that do have like a lot of people surrounding them and like a lot of friends and, you know, thrive. Just maybe not in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. Like maybe he's just like not in the right setting.
Have fun, but maybe not peak.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to all the fun. Maybe Nick is having too much fun. Like he's a little too hot and a little having too much fun. So maybe a balance.
Yeah.
Would be good.
You're probably right. Just pull back a little.
Also, were they vitamins?
No.
Okay.
That was cocaine, right? It
that
has to
right?
be. No one snorts vitamins. I mean, she probably called like, okay, Gigi's such a wild character. I loved her though.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on Gigi, Billy Lord's character?
She was so funny. I love how she just pops up no matter where you are. She's there. She's at every party. Like she's there to have a good time, you know. It's wild when she's kind of like tripping and I forget what she's saying when she's on the boat, but she ends up calling security, or the security almost kicks her off the boat or something.
Yes. And then she just jumps in.
Yeah. It's just so wacky. And then you're like, wait, how did she end up from here to here? Like, it doesn't make sense, but I love it.
She's a mystical figure. She shows up at the murder mystery.
She's like playing a character and everything. She's the mayor. I feel like it brings so much like of a zany touch.
I do love the zany touches in this film. Where does Booksmart rank on your like coming of age films?
I think for me it's pretty high. I want to say Lady Bird is up top, then Booksmart, and after that I don't know. Maybe bottoms. I mean, I really do love a comedy with a mostly female cast. I don't know. It's just
I love that. Is it reductive to say that Superbad and Booksmart are like? Is it fair to say Booksmart is the female Superbad?
I think it's fair. Well, okay, for one, it's Jonah Hill and Beanie Feldstein. So it's like him and his sister. So it's hard. There's already that similarity. And then the whole premise is literally the same. It's like they're about to graduate. They want to party it up. Because those boys, they don't really go to parties either.
Yeah, they're kind of like in their own bubble.
It's pretty similar. I would say Booksmart is a little queer coded.
Yeah.
You know?
How did you feel about the representation?
I thought it was cool.
Well, because like a lot of films, especially a 2019 feature, could definitely be a little too performatively queer coded.
It felt pretty legit to me.
I think so, especially the girl that was it Ryan that you think is into girls, and then she's like making out with the dude.
Yeah, tale as old as time.
Like it. Yeah, I also think I think this film is cool in that way. Like, it is a little queer coded, but only in the fact that the main character or one of the main characters is a lesbian. Like, everyone's just fluid enough. Like, people are in real life.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I liked too. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, there's so many dynamic characters.
Like, you have your Ryans of your friend group, and you have
guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
Singing You Ought to Know.
Yes. You have him. Maybe you are him.
Maybe you are.
Maybe you are him on the inside.
Maybe I am. And what?
But, yeah.
Where does Booksmart rank for you?
I really like it. I think female-led comedies, because, like, this film is a coming-of-age film, which, you know, some of them are serious, like Lady Bird. Some of them are more funny, like Booksmart. And then you have your Bridesmaids, which if you're talking about a female-led comedy,
okay,
that's the go. That's the
top.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah, there's no question.
And a cultural reset, which, of course, like in 2019, we were not going to take Booksmart in. But the cultural reset of Bridesmaids, we still quote it all the time. People know the quotes. It's beyond Superbad even culturally.
It transcends.
It transcends in a way that like Superbad or like Booksmart
could never.
Cannot. But maybe that's just me personally.
No,
and that's okay
I agree.
too.
I totally agree. I feel like, yeah, Bridesmaids is always going to be the top.
But if we're talking like a serious coming of age Lady Bird, and I would say Booksmart's kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
I loved its weirdness. Like, I love when they take the acid dipped strawberries and turn into claymation.
Yes.
I loved that. I loved those elements. I think some of the awkward humor bits didn't need to be, I think, like super bad as far as like a general film goes. It's like faster paced and quippier and funnier and just kind of like moves along, which I appreciate more. But I love the meat and potatoes of Booksmart. So I'd say it lands, you know, like, it's above a gentleman's 6. It'd be like a 7.
Okay. And
a gentlewoman 7.5.
Does Michael Cera like change things for you?
Okay, Superbad is top tier, and I only rank it that way because how much I just like Jonah Hill. And still, Superbad is such a good film that it transcends that.
I like McLovin.
I love McLovin.
I feel like he's relatable.
Yes, which apparently Jonah Hill in real life didn't like the actor who played McLovin.
Really?
So that's why they cast him.
Oh.
Because it felt real. Because it was real.
Tension.
Love the tension. Also, does McLovin look like he could be my brother?
A little bit. Do you relate to McLovin?
You know what's really funny? I don't, but there's elements.
Yeah.
Do you relate to McLovin?
Maybe a little. I feel like
I see elements. But in a good way. I feel like it's like in a
I would
way.
change my name on a fake ID to McLovin.
That's a great.
I thought that was move.
I thought it was a genius
to, like,
idea.
Overcalculate, like be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put 25 instead of 21. Have you ever got a fake ID?
Never. I never had a fake ID.
Same, never.
Too much of a goody two shoes. Also, I was like, if they don't let me in, they don't let me in. That actually happened once. I did go to a club when I was 18.
They just didn't let you in.
They just didn't let me in, and I was like, that's fine.
Like, all right, that's life.
Yeah, that's that. Like, I was always nervous. That's why I'm like, McLovin was brave.
He was.
Like, he's so brave. And 25's a good age. I think McLovin's logic was totally sound.
I agree. Because, like, when you're 25, sometimes you look like you could be younger. Like, you just can't tell, really.
And by 25, you could have changed your name legally to McLovin.
That's true. You're an adult. Yeah, you could get rid of your first and last. Just McLovin.
You're from Honolulu, Hawaii. You're 25. A 25-year-old weirdo who looks like a little kid, you know?
Yeah. The police totally bought it, I feel. Like, at first, at least.
I think they did. I feel like they didn't even realize it. I feel like they were like dum-dums.
They're like, that's so cool, McLovin.
Yeah.
Oh. No. Legend.
Also, Bill Hader. I love that man.
Same. Yeah.
Maybe that's just it. But this cast is great.
Yeah.
Like, I even loved Amy's love interest in Booksmart. Like the too cool for school gal.
Yeah.
That's who I'd want to be in my head. Just like hanging out in the bathroom looking just fab.
Same. I know. She was so cool. She was way cooler than them. She had a cool jacket too.
Such a cool jacket.
Fringe leather jacket.
Very like Thelma and Louise meets Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yes. I know. Style icon, honestly.
Really. And the whole time too, Caitlin Deaver, who plays Amy. She's going to be in The Last of Us, the
Is
television
she?
series.
Who's she gonna be?
She's going to be Abby.
Is that what's his name's like lady friend?
The one who in The Last of Us Part 2, the blonde girl who's like the adversary to Ellie.
Oh, what? Okay, I don't know. Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 2, I never got to. I'm only familiar with just The Last of Us and like some of the special content or something, but not the Part 2.
The DLC is actually really good. I've only watched The Last of Us video games, and I think they're great.
I know. I haven't actually played them myself either. I've only watched other people play, but it's so fascinating because it does play out a lot like a movie.
It does. I think it's better than the TV show.
Yeah, I honestly do too. And I know, not just going on a Last of Us tangent, but like I know that there were some issues, with like like how Ellie looked kind of like, Elliot Page, I guess, at the time. Like there's like that. But I do think that character, it's like, I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but there's just something about the aesthetic of it all and the way the characters are like like the character design and the world design. It's just cool. I could just go on a whole I gotta stop myself.
No, I love the Last of Us nerding out.
Yeah, but she's gonna be on. So the television show's still going then.
She's gonna be in season 2, but she would have made a really good Ellie.
That
she
was my
looks like Ellie.
thought.
She sounds like Ellie.
She does. She has certain mannerisms where she's like, and then she also, has played a queer character.
Yeah,
Ellie is a queer character.
Spoiler alert, I'm
just saying
but
that could have, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
and Caitlin Dever, she's older now, but they're going to have to age up Ellie for this season anyways. Like, it doesn't really matter. And she still looks fab and super young. So why not suspend disbelief?
Just like completely replace Bella Ramsey? Is that what you're saying?
I just like, when you have an actor right there that's like, she sounds like her. She looks like her. Like,
yeah, I know what you're saying, and I completely agree. Missed opportunity,
very much so. Hey, do you have any thoughts
on what?
On Booksmart?
I thought it was funny, but I think it's shot in a way that makes it like it's like trying to look cool and be self-deprecating, and on some level it doesn't work for me. But I'm biased. I grew up loving Superbad. I like Superbad more.
Thank you, Ben. Okay, Brie. Final exit survey. Quick round.
Okay. Speed round.
Speed round. What character did you relate to the most?
Probably Amy. Period. Is that the do I need to explain?
No. No explanation needed. I'd say Molly, but obviously Jared's my favorite.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really liked Jared. I don't know if I can completely relate to him. But like he does remind me a bit of like being a kid and you'd hand out like all the baggy like the treat bags for every holiday kind of thing. But he like takes that on a whole nother level.
Yes.
But I think it's sweet. I don't know.
It's endearing.
Something about that actor, the way he plays him. It's just like so I just think I like him. I just think I like the actor a lot and the way he just seems like really kind-hearted.
Is Jim Broadbent getting removed? Are we in the Skylar Gisondo hive?
Wait, why are you throwing out Jim Broadbent? Why does he have to leave?
Well, Stanley Tucci can't leave.
No, why are we kicking? We can't.
We don't have to. We can live. This is our Mount Rushmore of character actors or soon to be character actors. We have Jim Broadbent, Stanley Tucci, and now we have Skylar Gisondo.
Yes.
Because I loved him in Licorice Pizza as well. He really steals the show.
He's really cute. And I've been watching The Righteous Gemstones.
He's in it?
He plays the son. Yeah, the like prodigal son.
Okay,
but who like turns on his family in a way. But he's like such a likable character. Like I don't know what it is. He just seems like so sweet.
Okay.
You know?
Well, he's in the hive now. I guess we're in the hive now, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Or stands.
That's my main takeaway from Booksmart. It's just
same. When he makes that T-shirt,
when they get up first, like go to the boat, and before they get on the boat, and he's just dancing in the background, was actually the funniest part of this movie to me.
Yeah, he's always smiling. Like nothing gets him down.
No, I love that. He's like the Ethan Embry.
Yes,
of Booksmart.
100%. Yes.
What was the funniest scene in the movie?
I mean, I like when they crash through at graduation. I'm trying to think what made me really laugh, though. Well, to me, this part made me laugh. So, okay, you know how it's like the night before graduation? Well, I guess that's the whole movie. But when they're at Amy's house and Molly's like, yeah, we gotta let's go to this party, you know, let's go. And she's like, oh, Amy's like, I don't like lying to my parents, or like, I don't want to say that we're going out because they're going to think we're dating or something. And they always give me this look because like Amy, she like says she's been like out for like 2 years now, and her parents are really supportive, which is great. But it's just funny that they think that they're a couple, but they are just friends. And she's like, yeah, we want to have a sleepover before our last
Oh my
day
God, I know what
together.
you're going to say. It actually is a really funny line. But go ahead.
She's like, oh, don't worry. We're probably just going to do a Korean face mask or something. And like Lisa Kudrow as the mom, she's like, I don't need to know all the word, like what it's all called. She thinks it's like something sexual. But she's like, they're like literally just talking about like doing
Korean face
yeah,
mask.
like I think there's like a sexual connotation. Like it's just, I don't know. Because they're doing all this like weird, like physical, like kind of like humor at the same time. Some like, like Titanic at the end of the boat kind of thing. Like, I don't know. It's
very Superbad in that way as well. Like I could see Jonah Hill's character.
Yeah, getting a little touchy-feely.
Getting a little touchy-feely.
Oh, yeah, that made me laugh. And then like they ditch their big coats. And I'm like, the fact that they're wearing like matching jumps, like these rompers that look like a almost like a mechanic's suit or something, and then berets, and
truly something that we would both wear in 2019 though. I feel like I've seen you rock that look. I've rocked a look.
Definitely. But at maybe you're right. Maybe it's the context. Maybe I'm looking at it all wrong, because I'm like, those aren't party outfits, but maybe they are.
Maybe they are.
You could like,
especially with
down
that beret.
Yeah. But yeah, that one made me laugh the most. Either that or like the Cardi B joke. That was kind of funny.
What was the most heartwarming moment?
I really like at the end when Amy comes back and they're like, let's go get pancakes or something. Just have, like one last kind of hurrah before she has to leave, because I don't know. You could tell they're both kind of sad, and it got me a little bit.
I'm a sucker for a moment like that, especially about friends.
Yeah.
Either moms or friends.
And people leaving at an airport, like it's just like tugs at your heartstrings.
The wave goodbye in the car. I mean, I hate goodbyes.
Yeah.
We can't even close this podcast sometimes. I can't even close this podcast sometimes. I hate goodbyes. Even the other day, I was just hanging out with a family member. We said goodbye. I shed a tear in the car. Just goodbyes make me sad. And driving in the car.
Yeah.
Oof.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, there's been many a times where I might have cried in a car. Sometimes saying goodbye to you.
I mean, likewise, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit me in the feels. It's funny, though, because then I would see you a few days later. But I still would hit me.
It doesn't matter. Like, I think it just, something about an airport ups the ante.
Yeah. I remember that time you went to your, you had like an internship.
Oh, yeah.
Like we were in college.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that hit me kind of in the feels. I couldn't go home. I was too sad. I went to the gardens instead for out until the sunset.
You became a Buddhist? that was a different time?
A little bit. Yeah. It was a similar time.
Piper, no.
It was before that, but yeah.
But yeah, I hate goodbyes, so I get it. I thought that was heartwarming too. It didn't hit me in the feels, but their argument felt it resonated with me.
Oh,
that argument.
Yeah, that was a little heart-wrenching, actually.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't even... Well, okay, this is crazy because Molly leaves. I mean, the police do arrive, but then it's crazy because Amy gets arrested. I mean, she does kind of put herself in that situation.
Yeah.
Which was kind of silly, but I was like, that's crazy. Leaving without your friend. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we wouldn't do that.
No, definitely not.
But
you can't do that.
No
matter how mad you are. Also, I'd be too afraid. I'd be like, better not. Safety first, I suppose. I don't want to die a gruesome death tonight.
Very true. Yeah, out on your lonesome.
Yes.
Just walking the streets.
Can't walk the streets. Best dressed.
I mean, my mind does go to that girl with the Walker Texas Ranger jacket. I did like Amy's outfit in the first scene, though.
I like that too. It was a little patchwork situation.
Yeah.
I loved Ryan. I loved her skater style.
Yeah.
Her Avril Lavigne get up.
True. Trying to think what else.
The shirt within a shirt within a shirt.
Yeah. That's fashion.
I want merch.
Yeah.
Where's my Annapurna merch? A24 style.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Booksmart?
I really enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed the friendship, specifically when the girls would hype each other up, you know, or like that one scene where Molly's like, I have a butterface personality or something. And then Amy slaps her. She's like, don't talk about my friend that way.
Yes.
Like, I just love their
That's
friendship.
such like a true friendship moment.
Yeah. Also, Miss Fine is a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I love how she talks about watching Gilmore Girls, like rewatching it for like the 50th time.
I am Miss Fine.
I know. I think she was just bored, and so she went to this party. She's just like, okay, what am I gonna do? Watch Gilmore Girls again?
Did it for the plot. She's really into the New York Times crossword.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do it on pen and paper, but every day I do the mini crossword. I am Miss Fine.
I love it.
But proud Miss Fine representation over here.
She's so cool.
Wow. Maybe some like funky music or some Lizzo can see us out.
Yeah.
Well, although late to the party, are not going to Irish goodbye. But thank you guys so much for listening.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.